face the mighty All Blacks, staring down the barrel of the haka, must be one of the pinnacles of any rugby player's dream. So when I was approached by an old school friend to delve into the rich rugby history of her grandfather, little did I know that it would take me from the very doorstep of my grassroots club in Aberavon to down under and the land of the long white cloud. Now, Adele Bowditch, coming from very rich rugby pedigree, married to Chris, a former stalwart of Tartar RFC, and the proud mam to two rugby-loving sons, Kai and Corey, when she asked me to delve into the history of her grandfather and his rugby playing days, I'd already heard the name Dill Standford, as it was steeped in the rugby history of my town of Aberavon. Dill Standford was one of the very first father and son combinations to play for my hometown club, the Mighty Quins, when he played with his father and Adele's great-grandfather, Jinx. Then, after the war, when the Quins' home field had been used as a grow-your-own patch to provide resources throughout the war period, Dilwyn, along with his friends around the club, helped to revive the fortunes of the Quins. It was in 1946, though, that Dilwyn was to live his once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience. Directly after the war, a squad of servicemen from New Zealand were selected to represent their country in a commemorative tour of the British Isles. The New Zealand Expeditionary Forces Select 15 were brought together by the inspired rugby fanatic Lieutenant General Sir Bernard Freyberg and captained by the legendary All Black, Charles Saxton. In January 1946, they journeyed across the Severn, where they played against Swansea, Wales and a combined Neath and Aberavon Select 15, whereby the best players of the town were chosen to play against our visitors from down under. Much like today, rugby at that time was suffering record lows in terms of playing numbers. The sport had taken a serious hit during the war, and pitches were left decimated and desolate up and down the country. Indeed, the tour itself was credited with having revived the oval ball right across the British Isles, and they were inducted, rightly so, into the Rugby Hall of Fame in 1997. Dill Standford was selected to play at loosehead prop for the game and faced the legendary All Black front rower Patrick Rind. Those present at the game bore testament to the fact that Dilwyn took him all the way to the hilt without taking a backward step in any of the scrums. The Avon Nath Select 15 finally did succumb in the game itself, but Dilwyn had stamped his indelible mark on the game, making him without doubt a local legend in every sense of the word. Today on the vlog now, we will be joined by the granddaughter of Dill Standford, Adele, who contacted me all those months ago now to find out this fantastic story, his son Kevin and his great-grandsons Kai and Corey, to be immensely proud of their grandfather and their great-grandfather for having faced the mighty All Blacks. Welcome back to Gumpy's Grassroots Roundup. So we're joined now on the vlog by Adele Bowditch, who, when we were in school together, was Adele Standford, and the granddaughter of Dill Standford. So, Adele, thanks for joining us on the vlog, first of all.
Welcome, thanks for doing it for me.
Thank you. And so before contacting me via the vlog page, did you know much about your grandfather's rugby past?
I knew bits and bobs, especially after I had kids of my own and they started rugby. My father started telling me more stories about him playing rugby. But I knew he was on the wall in the Quins and there was photos up of him, so I knew little bits.
Yeah. And having seen all this now, how does it make you feel?
Amazing. So proud of him.
And then the last question then, I'm starting to get a bit emotional here myself, but if your grandfather were here now, let's say if he was sat right there, what would be the one thing that you would like to say to him?
He's a legend.
In every sense of the word, I think.
Very much so, yeah.
So we're going to be bringing on now Dilwyn's great-grandsons to to see perhaps if maybe they one day can face the mighty All Blacks. We are joined now on the vlog by Dill and Standford's great-grandchildren, Kai and Corey. Thanks for joining us on the vlog, boys. So, I mean, now tell us, having learned what you've seen today, how do you feel knowing that your great-grandfather once played against New Zealand All Blacks?
Well, if he can do it, we'll say I can't. We'll say I can't do it.
And what about you, young man? Oh, cat has caught your tongue, is it?
Yeah.
No? Well, maybe I've heard good things about you playing rugby, so maybe the two of them might be facing the All Blacks one day, I reckon. So when Adele got in touch through the vlog page now, all those months ago, I never thought in my wildest dreams that it would take us on a journey to learn about her grandfather, having faced the New Zealand All Blacks and, you know, a real local legend. But we have actually been in contact with the New Zealand Rugby Museum in North Portland. And if I could hand this to you, Adele, if you could read that out for the camera, please.
Dear Mrs. Bowditch, please accept our gift in recognition of your grandfather, Dill and Standford, who played for the combined Aberafan Neath Select 15 against the New Zealand Armed Services Select 15 on their tour of the British Isles in 1946. Unfortunately, we were unable to source out any photographs of the aforementioned fixture. However, the framed photograph postcard that we have provided for you is one of the very same New Zealand Services touring party that your grandfather played against in 1946. I hope that it brings you as much joy as we have experienced in hearing about your story from Gumpy's grassroots round up.
And this is the gift that they gave us, so if you'd like to give that to Dad. Local legend in every sense of the word. So that is the New Zealand Expeditionary Forces All Blacks in 1946 that your father played against. So there we have it, a story going back 70 years that resonates as much today as it did then and shows that rugby union really is woven throughout the fabrics of the communities right across Wales. Well, who knows, maybe I'm standing here next to one of Dilwyn's great-grandchildren that might too pull on that red jersey and face the mighty All Blacks one day. There was, of course, another All Black that visited our town back in 2008, 10 years ago. And to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of Jonah Lomu visiting the Naval to play with the boys there, we will be hosting a memorial match to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of Jonah Lomu playing for the Naval there. And that will be here at Aberafan Harlequins on Friday the 16th of November. Please do join us. All proceeds raised will be going to the Jonah Lomu Legacy Trust, which is a foundation set up there to look after Jonah's two sons, Brayley and Daryl. Well, thanks for joining us on the vlog, guys. And don't forget, tune in next time to Gumpy's Grassroots Roundup.